Right, here is my a reaction video and my deep thoughts about this awesome video. As many of you might know, I am a proud owner of a drone. I have the DJI Phantom 2 with my GoPro Hero 3 Plus Black Edition hanging from the Zenmuse H3 3D gimbal. Hanging from this. In total, this is about £1,200 worth of gear going on here, let alone all the extra propellers I've had to buy for all the crashes it's had. And I think it's great, but it is a scary thing to use. And you know, because if there's a bit of a wind and it's floating off somewhere, and these propellers do go round at a heck of a rate that they can chop your fingers off quite easily. So I'm fully under the idea that people should have some form of training about the dangers and the safety protocols that if anybody has one of these, they need to go through. In terms of weight, all of this is quite heavy. It's about 1.5 kilograms worth of gear, and it can get a fairly fast speed going on. Especially if you're going with a wind, it can go very fast. So if it hits into like a building or a person or a dog or a pram, you can cause some serious damage with both the kinetic energy of this and from the spinning knives of death known as propellers. However, at the same time, I think drones are awesome. And there's this new one come out, which the video I've already watched about 4 or 5 times, and it's been about, I don't know, 20 minutes since I last watched it. So I need to get my fix again. Because this just, it looks awesome. If you haven't already seen this video, you're missing out, because already 5,336,000 people have already watched this. Or, I suspect only a tiny proportion of that are original views. The rest are just people watching over and over and over again. Because, bravo for making such an awesome video. I'm going to play it, I'm going to keep the music off because there's copyright issues and all that kind of stuff. But it's so good. So I would say I'll put the link to this particular video down in the description below for you to go and watch and listen to it with music. And if you want to, we can both do it at the same time, so you can press it at the same time as me, so you can hear it with the music. But just right. Okay, let's just have a quick review of it. Okay, so first of all, you look at it and go, oh, it's kind of cute. It's got a cute little face. And you're noticing the propellers are folded up, so that seems to be pretty good for packaging and storing and just sticking in a rucksack and all that kind of stuff. I was looking at the details of this, and it seems to be a little lighter than a DJI Phantom. Its battery life, not quite as long as a Phantom. Phantom could do about 25, 26, 27 minutes. This is saying it's 20 minutes, so a little bit less going on there. However, it's like, just this very opening shot. Oh, did you see that? Did you see that? So I don't know whether he's already unfolded the propellers. If we look closely, no, all the propellers seem to be folded out. So I don't know whether that's something you have to do beforehand. But it's just, he literally just throws it up in the air and boom, it stabilizes itself and gets going. Oh, that's good. Now, one thing to be aware of is this video and all the other video footage is looking like it's done in magnificent weather conditions. It looks like there's no wind, it looks like there's no noise, and just generally the perfect flying conditions. So it's something to be aware of in this video. I'd be interested to see how well it works, or how dangerously some people are going to go, just use it in town, throw it up and they jog along and it hits a lamppost and then kills a child. So yeah, on a ski slope, again, it's looking like there's not a huge number of people on this ski slope here. He's got a whole little ramp all to himself here. I again wonder what the rules and regulations are going to be about doing it over people's heads on a non-closed off bit of slope here. So that's something just to think about. Anyway, so without having to use any controls, you get this little thing that you stick on your watch or something, and the camera will do there's a couple settings. You can make it do a follow or a lead or a rotate and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, oh, that's so good. The video capture is saying it can do 1080p at 60 frames a second, same as the GoPro Hero 3 Plus Black Edition. Awesome. its like field of view is 90. I think it said 97 degrees, which again I think is pretty darn wide. What it does, it looks like it's stabilized as well. So the footage I get from this, I think is amazing, but it's stabilized footage. However, what sometimes happens is if the camera is not in the right position, I get the reflection of the propellers going onto the lens. The camera is inside the Lily, so therefore I don't think you get the weird reflection from the propellers hitting the lens. It seems. I'm not 100% sure on that just now. But it looks like it's got enough speed to keep up with somebody that's going snowboarding, and yet 60 frames a second, so you can slow down some slow motion going on there. Now this I don't know what's going on here, because this is coming towards him at shoulder level. So if there was somebody not paying attention and was looking away, and it's coming around with its spinning blades, that could be smacking into the back of someone's head. So unless this is fake footage, this bit here, and it's actually, this is a guy walking around with a camera in their hands, I would be a bit worried about this auto landing mechanism if there's people around that it can smack. So there, see, it comes down again. Fine enough if you're doing that with gloves and a ski jacket. So, you know, if you lose grip or the wind slightly takes it, those propellers are going to hit into a very thick, like snowboarding, skiing jacket. Doing that in your bare t-shirt and a slight draft kind of knocking it, and suddenly it goes tick, 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 into your elbow pit, and suddenly blood gushing out and biceps peeling off, and could be like something out of the film Saw, or like a horror film. So that says easy landing. I'm a bit nervous, like, because you can do hand launches and hand catches. So you hold it there, and you just press the buttons, and you can get it flying off. However, I've done a few where I've done hand catches with this, and here you've got a nice big handle to grab it with, but sometimes it can just go a little bit wrong, and it falls, and it just chops you up, and blood goes everywhere. It's just, that's one of the learning experiences which I think is something which you get whenever you are an owner of one of these. However, it's something which I think maybe should be taught when buying one as well. So this easy landing, easy, possibly fraught with danger if not doing it in absolute pristine conditions and with other people around. So something to be aware of going on there. Next, was it 20-minute flight time? That seems pretty cool. And let's just see, he's walking along the bridge. So again, the propellers are out, and I think this is cool. Just, yep, off you go. And so that was quite a long drop before it fully came on. That was dropping at least about another 10 feet below where he was. So what was going on there? Because like other ones, looks like you barely just give it a little pop and it will turn on. There you kind of dropped it and it went down quite a bit before it turned on. So this, like in this, Lily shoot fly up. So here we've got a little bit of lens flare coming in from the sun. However, it looks like the image capturing ability of the camera in this is fantastic, and the lens flare is very well controlled. And yeah, so what's that? Lily shot side, so you can have it at the side of you, just following you along. Again, pristine conditions. Again, something to be aware of. I'd wonder what the quality is like. What if there's just a tiny bit of a breeze? Now this bit, I love this bit. This one just blew my mind. So you get this waterproof thing, tracking device. So I think that's what you get, what everyone has, and waterproof case. And then you plonk, and I was just like, oh no, like don't, massive mistake. And then zoom, it's so good, so cool seeing that, so cool. It's on the actual website. It's got a terminology of how waterproof it is, and it seems to be pretty bloody waterproof. Like you could be hitting it with, like if you're washing your car and you get your hose and you go at Lily's done. No, Lily's fine. That's what I'm saying. It's like Lily's like, yeah, smashing you with a hose at full power, not gonna have any problem. So I think it's like a depth of a whole meter underwater it can go. However, it floats, and it just flies up. Oh, so good, so good. So just well, like the guys that are making this, or the people that are making this, you really did think of everything on that well. that one cheered me up. So yeah, you've got, I love their logos that they've done in the motion capture kind of stuff here. And Lily Shoot follow, so you've got side, follow, and lead. I like that as well. However, I'm guessing that's probably not, unless it's just a button on it. I'd be interested to see how that works. If you can just kind of go, follow, lead, Lily up kind of shots. Maybe it's just like 4 or 5 settings going on there. Ultra portable, just shoving it in his rucksack. That does look portable, and I think it is pretty darn light. So here, a granny. Now, if you have a pensioner that's able to work this is when it gets really dangerous. And here, so now there is a little bit of a quick cut there. They're obviously having to take the propellers out or something like that. So it's I think when it's folded up, if you threw it then, it would just fall on the ground. And how weak is a pensioner woman throwing this thing? Not very strong at all. But yet, it manages to like fully ignite before it hits the ground. That was impressive. Very, very impressed with that. Then here's Lily Shoot Loop. That's what you want. Again, pristine conditions. There is no wind at all going on there, but that's just so awesome. Now, record sound, select Lily Shots, takes pictures. So I'm guessing, because my GoPro will record sound when this is flying. The sound of it is this. The whole time. So sound recording is not necessarily all that handy. However, if you've got sound recording from the hand thing, then that might be quite cool. So you could be like, let's say you're out rock climbing, you could be talking, saying, oh yeah, I'm going to go for this left hand to climb up to that bit, and yet the camera's following you. So that'd be pretty cool, I think. But how they fit all the information, like taking pictures, Lily, loop, Lily, was it rise and fall, lead, follow, and all that kind of stuff. How they fit that into this tiny little handheld device, I'd be interested to see how well, or how easy, or how obvious that is to work. But yeah, and takes 12 megapixel stills. It's actually quite big as well. It looks small, but it's actually pretty big. But yeah, just like that. Very few things tempt me to spend my own money, but that. It's so good. That is so good. So good. I don't know where to go from here. I really want that. But that's the marketing video. And you just kind of go, how well is it going to work in real life? What situations can I actually use that in? What are going to be the situations with electrical power lines? If you're near anything, is there no information about the GPS signal or anything like that? Maybe it doesn't need GPS. It must need GPS. What about if you go around a corner and it hits into a wall? Does it have? There's so many questions about how this works that the advertising video makes me pretty much forget them and just go, that's amazing. Take my money. But at the same time, there is a lot of cases of going, right, so if I use that in a park, in a town, and I jog along and it hits a tree, bummer, it's destroyed. Or if I go along and I go land, and it comes along and it hits people on its way to landing, that's a good. If I do it and there's this tiny gust of wind and it slips out of my hand and it spins and goes mental on the ground and chops things up, what happens there as well? So the real life, like all the videos for this are just like, oh, look how amazing it is. And that's not the only footage that you see. However, the real life experience with this is you're kind of going, okay, I've got to totally monitor battery performance. I've totally got to monitor radio frequencies. I've got to make sure I've got 9 satellite GPS connection. I've got to make sure that it's got a home point lock and course lock already set, the compass calibration. I've got to make sure that propellers are calibrated so there's no external vibration going on. You've got to check that there's no grit or dirt within all the propellers. And you've got to check, the controls of the camera are all going on and like that. And is so much more of an involvement rather than just going, hey, I got a drone, let's fly it, and then it crashes and then you lose £1,000 worth of gear. This, it's such a good advert. I just wanted, just let's see what it's like in real life. I'm not going to be a first buyer, what do you call it? Like, when people are like, I'll do a pre-order. I'll wait until all those issues and kinks have been ironed out, and then I'll get the Lily 2, the upgraded version, because that one will be hopefully a bit better as well, somehow. But just the fully waterproof, shockproof. If the camera's got vibration reduction in it, which I haven't seen any of the information yet, that would be handy. But yeah, interested to see what real life footage people get from it, to see how, if it's better, if it's more user friendly, if it's easier to work with than the DJI Phantom. However, I think they will be two separate types of stuff. So that's just my reaction video and my thoughts regarding the Lily.camera thing.